Hi there, it's a cold February morning, but at least it's not raining, and my car is all packed and I'm off to my first ever National Brick event. So this is the Surrey Sports Park at the University of Surrey, as you can see up there. Now I've done many Lego brick festivals in the UK before, but I've never been to one of the national brick events. So this is my first time here. Let's go inside and see what it's like. And the first thing I can see is a sign saying no studded or moulded boots beyond this point. So I'm guessing no one's going to turn up today wearing a pair of the new Lego Crocs, because they're definitely studded boots. So here are my two little tables. Everything's inside. I'm parked the car. It's just gone 8 o'clock, so I've got 2 hours before the show starts, so I'll set it up and show you what I bought. And in amongst my boxes, as always, a very big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you so much for your support. It's really, really appreciated. And if you're interested in becoming a channel member and getting your name on a brick in all my videos, then you can click on the join button below this video or the link in the description. Or if you're interested in supporting my channel in other ways, you can use my affiliate link on lego.com or leave me a super chat in the comments below. But enough chatting, I really need to set up my display. So it's now 9 o'clock and there's a lot of people mostly set up and ready to go. Still a few empty tables which need filling up, but I'll spin around and I'll show you what I bought. So down this end we've got upscale stuff, so we've got the space buggy to start with its upscaled box and regular box, and everything's got their regular sized set in front of them. Then we move on to the mini loader. Then first outing for a show we've got the treasure chest here. And then in front of that, random little bits, the envelope, the suitcase. Then continuing on upscale, we're moving into classic space and we've got our space babies with the mini space babies in front. And then only made a couple of days ago, the new upgraded DeLorean with its lighting kit, the flickering fire trails, and an illuminated Twin Pines wall sign. Then I've got a second table, and here we've got our classic spaceman. We've got every size of classic spaceman. Moving up to the nightlight and the plushie. Handy little QR code for people at the show can come and subscribe to the channel with my YouTube brick built sign, which YouTube sent me. Then we've got every colour of spaceman, and new to this show we've got the light green one with the sticker on his torso. And then down the end we've got my our micro command centre. If I just turn that on, we've got the little monorail running around, made from 2 of these sets and 2 of these sets. So yeah, 9 o'clock, let's have a look around and see what else is here. So it is 9:30. There's not actually that many displayers here. There's an awful lot of traders selling a lot of stuff. There's not much vintage stuff, so not huge amounts of things that are interesting me. But I'm going to have another look around and double check there's nothing nice classic 80s sets to buy. But I'll just show you a few of the displays that I can find. So I've got a really cool medieval display here. This is by Lewis, who's called Woody's Bricks on Facebook. I've interviewed him before down at the Bournemouth Brick Festival, and this is his amazing medieval setup. It's a lovely castle here, and I really like the opening end, and you can see the little scenes inside. Then there's a whole mixture of medieval Lego from lots of different eras here. It's a nice jousting tournament going on at the front. These really cool multicoloured tents here too. And then just a number of pieces of greenery and infill here. He's got a lovely stone path running through the whole thing. A nice little Tudor style building at the back, and a really cool windmill as well. So it's a massive display. I've seen it before, but it is still really cool. Then a few other bits of his displays, some newer items I haven't seen before. Got a really cool bluey mosaic there. I'm a bit of a bluey fan myself. And then Jack Skellington over this side. Then down the front he's got some mods. He's a bit of a VW fan, so he's got the Beetle and he's modified it to be in more of an off-road rally version. He's done a really nice job, lots of custom stickers, really cool chunky wheels on that as well. And he's also modified the VW camper, turned it into a pickup with a Vespa in the back. Which is another really nice mod, chopping the back off it. But then I used to be a big Coke fan, used to collect a lot of Coke things. There's a really nice winter scene here with a custom vintage Coke van with some crates of Coke bottles coming out the back. Lovely snowy scene. Holidays are coming, Coca-Cola truck. And this is my good friend Ian Brick's stall, and he's got a brand new set which I didn't know existed. Way down here, this is a new Legoland set of the Legoland Castle. So new, he's saying it's not even on Bricklink yet. That's really cool. Got the dragon ride coming out the front there. Get a little minifig with one of those cool horse knight shields. Yeah, interested in that. 65 quid, not too bad. Yeah, very interested in that set. So this is a display by Kirsty, and it's called Brixton High Street. It is absolutely, properly amazing. She's got completely custom buildings all the way along. She's got this lovely sign down the bottom saying Brixton High Street. And I was chatting with her, and she just gets parts and builds them. And you can see how long it actually is. If I do a shot from here, you can see all the way down there. There's Kirsty. So I'll just go and have a chat with her and talk about her Brixton High Street. So it is 4 o'clock and we are starting to pack up, and you can see Kirsty is starting to sort out the carnage where all the kids have played with all the minifigures. So Kirsty, when did you start building Brixton High Street?
I started during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I was bored. I needed a creative outlet.
We were all bored in pandemic, weren't we?
Exactly. I needed to do something creative. And my daughter had stopped playing Lego because she was 15 at the time. And I was just...
So did you inherit all her Lego to build all this? I stole it, that's fair enough. Inheriting, stealing, same sort of thing, isn't it?
She can have it back if she wants it, but she doesn't.
And where do you get your ideas for each building from?
Well, I buy a lot of second-hand parts as well, so I just get everything together in their colours, see what I've got, and the building kind of comes out of whatever I've got.
Oh, cool.
I try not to buy anything new.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this is your first ever Lego show?
This is my first ever Lego show.
Have you enjoyed it?
I've loved it.
Cool.
Really
do some
good.
more?
I hope to, yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, hopefully I'll bump into you again sometime.
And you.
Thanks for chatting.
Thank you.
So opposite me is this massive display. This is the trenches from World War One. You can see here. There's incredible detail and an awful lot of brown bricks. You can see running down here, trenches in a no man's land. Coming over here. And then there's a Union Jack at this end. So everything Nicholas builds is post the start of World War One. So we've got World War One here, and then moving down we get more modern scenes. And then he does some amazing military vehicles. We've got a tank there and a helicopter. Moving along, we've got some Humvees here. And then another tank. And I'm not totally sure what this, I can find out here. Look, it's an Rancor Striker. But really detailed, looks amazing. Then we've got another scene here, so this is World War II now. We've got some half demolished buildings with people in and around them. Great technique for the cornfield here, using bars and Technic pins on top. Also, really nice technique for the stream here. We've got lots of loose 1x1s running down the middle there. And then a tank and an armoured transport and a cannon down here. Then moving on, we've got another scene here. And then down here, we have Nicholas himself with all the set models that he sells. So Nicholas, when did you start getting interested in doing sort of military Lego?
Military Lego was year 7, which was from now, I think, I was 11, so we're talking 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
8 years ago I started building.
And which was it, out of all these, which was your first, which main diorama you built first, or have they all been fairly recent?
The first one out of all of these, they're pretty recent, these ones.
Yeah.
The first one to come along, I want to say, was the Northern Europe one.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one of all of them.
Is that the one down the far end?
No, that's this one here.
Oh, okay.
This one. Then World War One came along.
Yeah.
Then a few other models were coming along throughout the time that aren't here today. Then the Pacific Theatre one.
It's down
and then
here.
Vietnam here.
So Pacific Theatre here, we've got beach landings. And then the Vietnam one we just looked at down there. And you sell models as well as making?
Yes. So this couple of the models that we sell, which I don't have a lot of stock of anymore.
It's been a busy show.
Yes. It's been one of the best that I've had.
Cool. And if people are interested in buying your models, where can they get them? Can you buy online?
You can buy online. I can give you, if it helps, the QR code.
That's fine. I will put a QR code on my screen, then any viewers who are interested can also grab that. What's the name of your shop online?
It's called Thiccus Briccus, Azulay.
Brilliant. Cool, well thanks for talking to us today.
For sure.
So it's 4 o'clock, it's been a crazy busy show. I haven't had time to film during the day. You can see everyone is now packing up. I've just started to dismantle my display myself. If you came to say hi, thank you so much for saying hi to me. I bought a couple of things just over there. I won't show you what they are, but I'll show you when I get home. I'll unpack those and show you what I bought today, a couple of vintage things. But yeah, time to pack up and go home. Most people have already gone, look at this, it's crazy. I'll speak to you when I'm back at home. The day after the show, I was at the West Quay Centre in Southampton, and I thought it would be very rude not to pop into the Lego store. I didn't need any sets, and the new upscaled Spaceman isn't out till 1st of March, so I took a look at the Pick-a-Brick wall. And it had some useful and unusual parts, so I got some 1x16 green bricks, some 2x6 dark green bricks, some 4x6 dark blue plates, some 2x4 dark blue bricks, and in the odds and ends bin there was still some 2x4 white tiles, which will be useful for my upscaled snack bar. And just before I show you the old sets I bought at the Lego show, I wanted to show how much I crammed into my Pick-a-Brick box. As you can see, I've packed it in really well, and if you've never bought a Pick-a-Brick box before, I could highly recommend taking the time to stack your parts in them rather than just throwing them in loose. You get a lot more for your money. So first of all, you can see I've got a whole stack of those 1x16 green bricks. I've done them 4 deep with plates on the bottom and tiles on the top, and that way it fits perfectly in the size of the box. And as you don't see dark green and dark blue parts on the Pick-a-Brick wall very often, I thought I'd get a few of those too, as well as a few of these 1x10 black bricks on the bottom. I needed a little bit to pad out the top, so I got some of these 8x8 dark tan plates and stuck some tiles on top of them. And also to help with packing, I added some more of the tiles on top of these 2x4 tan plates. And like I said, in the odds and ends, they still had some 2x4 white plates, so I picked them clean of all the ones they had left. So apart from the white tiles, I don't need any of these parts for a specific project, but it was just a cheap way to get some unusual sizes and colours of bricks, which will all go into my parts storage for when I need them. So I bought 3 sets at the show, one from the 70s, one from the 90s, and one from the 2000s. And we're going to start with the oldest. And that's set 294 from 1974, and it was simply called Wall Unit. And this is from the Homemaker theme, which was brick-made rooms and brick-made furniture, and they were for the brick-built figures, which we had before minifigures back in the 1970s. Now on the instruction sheet you can see several other items of furniture. You can also see the kitchen, the living room, the bathroom and the bedroom. Now my older brothers had several of these sets when I was a kid. We had a kitchen and a dining room, but they were slightly different to the ones in the leaflet for this set. But the parts of those are all long gone many years ago. But I thought it would be nice to have one set from this theme which was still in really good condition. And this set has several stickered pieces, and the seller said that they were still pretty much intact. And there were 3 units which made up the furniture. There was his 2x4 shelving unit, a 4x4 cupboard with a door and a shelf inside, and a similar 4x4 unit, but this time with drawers. Now it looks like not all these pieces were originally put together, because the first thing I noticed is that the 2 cupboards have their doors on them. However, there were also 2 cupboard doors in the parts pack when they've the ones with the stickers on them. And you can see the one on the right is still in really good condition. However, the one on the left is a little bit faded and a little bit tatty. So I'm going to pull the plain doors off the cupboards, and we're going to put these new ones with the stickered pieces on instead, and then we're going to build the set up. And I can see that it's all genuine 1970s pieces, because you can see that these tiles are completely flat underneath. They don't have that little groove that the modern ones have. And this meant that when these were pressed down onto a plate, they were a lot more difficult to pull up. And further investigation shows that I do have a modern brick in here. You can see this one is original 1970s, as the pieces that join the anti-studs to the walls are flush with the top of the plastic here. However, this one is a modern brick, and you can see they're slightly more indented down. So this is a modern brick, this is an old one, and you can definitely see that from the condition of the 2 of them. So that's the wall unit built, and the only thing that I can see missing is this sticker which used to go across the top here. And if we try and set it up as it is in the picture on the front of the box, we can see we've got some books on the shelves here, and they're just 1x2 tiles. I just noticed I've missed out those 1x1 tiles on the end of the walls down here, so I've just added those 2 in. Going from left to right, first of all we've got a 1x2 tile just sitting upside down, that's some sort of tray. Next to that we've got an open book, which is a sticker on a 2x2 tile, and that's sitting just about here. Then we've got a pot on one of the shelves tiles, which is a 1x1 brick with a 1x1 tile, and again tiles without that groove along the bottom, so that goes on the shelf up here. Moving across, we've got the clock in the middle, and that looks quite different to the one in the picture. It looks like that one was on a 2x2 tile, and this is actually on a 1x2 brick with a tile on top of it. The picture looks the same, but it's quite a different size sticker, but we'll stick it on anyway, and I'll do some investigation and try and find out if this is from another set or if Bricklink actually lists this as the part. Then nearly finished over on the right, we've got a radio, which is a 2x3 brick with a 2x2 tile and a 1x2 tile. And that sits just about here. And then lastly, we've got a very square table lamp, which is a 1x1 brick in the bottom of a 2x2 brick with a 2x2 tile on top, and that sits on the end of the unit. And I've got 3 random parts left over, plus those 2 doors without the stickers. So that's my first vintage bargain. It only cost me about £5, and I'm really pleased to get one of the Homemaker sets in my vintage collection. And my next bargain was Vintage Minifig Collection Volume 5 from 2010. Now, I already have a lot of LEGO's minifigure collections from all the many different years that LEGO have released them in. And there were 5 of these vintage minifigure collections, and I do actually have all 5 of them. However, they are all still in pristine condition and still sealed, so the minifigures are never getting out of the box. But I specifically got a second one of this collection because I don't have the Forest Woman in my minifigure collection outside of its box. Now, if you're a classic castle fan, you will know that the Forest Woman is actually quite a rare figure, and currently on Bricklink there isn't a single one for sale in the whole of the UK. So when I saw this set at the show, I thought I had to get it. Then I've got a Forest Woman to go in my minifig collection. So I've cut the sellotape tabs on the sliding cover, and here she is out of her box for the first time since she was put in there. And I already have most of the other minifigures in the Forestman theme, so this is one of the last few that I needed. And then the last set that I bought was set 4563, and that was called Lodenhall Railroad, and that was from 1991. Now, in the past, a few commenters have questioned my usage of the word vintage, so I tried to find a definitive age which vintage is classified as. And the general consensus seems to be 20 to 25 years old. So as this set was from 1991, that makes it 35 years old, so I think we can definitely consider this set vintage. And for its age, it is in really good condition. So first of all, we've got 2 bags of that wonderful 9-volt track with the metal rails, so the train gets its power from the rails rather than a battery box on board. To power those rails, we've got a UK power supply, which goes to a 9-volt plug, and that plugs into our 9-volt speed regulator, so we can control the train going both backwards and forwards. It plugs into the side of the unit underneath, and on the top at the back we've got one of those standard 1990s 2x2 plates with the metal contacts on the studs. And we've got a 9-volt system 2x2 brick which clicks onto the top of those, and that goes to these 2 power connectors which clip onto each side of the rails and give the railway track its power. Now, the instructions are a little bit tatty, but at least I don't have to download them, but the bricks are in actually fabulous condition. And inside you can see we got a red engine, 2 flatbed trucks, a blue one with drop sides and a black and yellow one, and then a red boxcar at the back. Now, the wonderful thing about LEGO trains is that every system connects with every other one. The magnets from every train system over the years, right from the 1960s to today, still connect together. However, these ones, modern ones, are sort of encased in a black surrounding, so the magnet flips round inside. Back in the 90s, you had this system here where the magnet could turn round, so it didn't matter whether you connected a plus or a minus together, and they would just turn around and sort themselves out. And you can see that here, if you have 2 magnets of the same polarity, as you move them together, one of them will flip round and they'll connect together. Now, I really do think that this was the ultimate best power system that LEGO ever made for trains. Nowadays, you need a train motor like this with a cable, which goes to a battery box, which is absolutely huge, and also an infrared receiver for powered up or for power functions, or a Bluetooth controller inside the battery box for the new powered up system. For the 9-volt system, this is all you needed. This picks up the power from the rails, and it's got a motor inside which drives them. And you also had metal pickups on the front studs and the back studs, so you could power lights inside your trains. You never had to change the batteries, the trains would just run and run. The seller has helpfully bagged all this up, so you can see this bag's got the red logo in it. We've got the blue flatbed car, the yellow flatbed, and that red box car from the back. And then the parts for the forklift truck, the minifigures, and the odds and ends in another bag. And I can tell that the set has been very well looked after. The printing on the doors is still in very good condition with no scratches. And also where there are stickers, this one has been stuck across multiple pieces, and that's also still in really good condition too. And it's a really nice coincidence because recently I've been buying up some 9-volt track from Bricklink, as I wanted to expand my 9-volt train collection. And this is a fairly iconic and classic set from the 9-volt era, and one which was on my wanted list. Now I don't have time to build this entire set on camera this evening, so it's going to have to be one to wait for the weekend. But if people are interested, let me know in the comments, and I'll do a separate build and run video of building the set and running it round a track. So that was my experience of my first ever UK National Brick event. It was a great show, and if you're watching this video because you were at the show and met me there, drop me a comment below and I can say hi. If you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up and share it with other people. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, you could consider becoming a channel member or buying from lego.com using my affiliate link. But most of all, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe for more LEGO videos.